U.S. tennis legend reveals key fix to prevent Aryna Sabalenka-style remarks about Coco Gauff in the future. A U.S. tennis legend proposes a simple change to prevent post-match controversies like Aryna Sabalenka's remarks about Coco Gauff. Discover the solution that could reshape how players handle tough losses. Story highlights: an American tennis champion has proposed a solution aimed at preventing situations like the recent controversy surrounding Aryna Sabalenka following her French Open final loss to Coco Gauff. Sabalenka had suggested her own subpar performance, not Gauff's skill, determined the outcome. A prominent former American tennis champion has proposed a solution aimed at preventing situations like the recent controversy surrounding World No. 1 Aryna Sabalenka following her French Open final loss to Coco Gauff. Gauff, seeking her first WTA title of the season and her second major crown, faced the top-seeded Sabalenka in Saturday's Roland Garros championship match. Despite Sabalenka entering as the favorite, especially after dethroning three-time defending champion Iga Swiatek in the semifinals, it was Gauff who emerged victorious. The American staged a determined comeback to claim her maiden Coupe Shoes and Lenglen trophy, winning 6-7-5, 6-2, 6-4. However, the post-match narrative shifted dramatically due to Aryna Sabalenka's comments. The Belarusian suggested her own subpar performance, not Gauff's skill, determined the outcome. This perspective, compounded by her assertion that Swiatek would have defeated Coco Gauff had she reached the final, drew significant scrutiny and criticism from the tennis world. Now, a revered figure from American tennis has weighed in on the incident, offering a practical suggestion to mitigate such controversies moving forward. Despite Sabalenka entering as the favorite, especially after dethroning three-time defending champion Iga Swiatek in the semifinals, it was Gauff who emerged victorious. The American staged a determined comeback to claim her maiden Coupe Shoes and Lenglen trophy, winning 6-7-5, 6-2, 6-4. However, the post-match narrative shifted dramatically due to Aryna Sabalenka's comments. The Belarusian suggested her own subpar performance, not Gauff's skill, determined the outcome. This perspective, compounded by her assertion that Swiatek would have defeated Coco Gauff had she reached the final, drew significant scrutiny and criticism from the tennis world. Now, a revered figure from American tennis has weighed in on the incident, offering a practical suggestion to mitigate such controversies moving forward. Read more. Coco Gauff fires back after Aryna Sabalenka claims Iga Swiatek would have beaten her in the Roland Garros final. Jimmy Connors' prescription for post-match tension between Aryna Sabalenka and Coco Gauff. The solution proposed by eight-time Grand Slam champion Jimmy Connors centers on acknowledging the intense emotional toll of major finals. Speaking on his podcast, Connors advocated for granting players a brief respite immediately after such high-stakes matches before they face on-court interviews and press conferences. Connors, who experienced the agony of finishing as a Grand Slam runner-up 7 times himself, urged understanding for Aryna Sabalenka's state of mind. He highlighted the inherent difficulty of articulating coherent thoughts moments after a devastating loss, especially in a high-profile final like Roland Garros. After a tough match, whether it's the finals or the French or Wimbledon or whatever, everyone wants to hear your thoughts right away, Connors observed, pinpointing the core of the issue. His suggestion is simple yet impactful. Maybe it would be better to give you 5 minutes and let the players take a breath. He argued that the immediate demand for reactions, driven by the media and public's desire for instant scoop, often sets players up for criticism when their raw, unfiltered emotions lead to remarks they might later reconsider. They want to hear it right away, and then they are critical of it, Connors stated, emphasizing the disconnect between those analyzing from the sidelines and the athlete experiencing profound disappointment firsthand. Connors passionately defended players, stressing the unique and individual nature of their mental processes in those intense moments. You don't know what's in my mind. You have no clue. And by the way, not every player has the same thing going through their mind. Everybody is an individual, he asserted. His core message was one of empathy and practicality, so let the players take a breath sometimes. This incident marks the second Grand Slam final defeat for Aryna Sabalenka this year, following her loss to Madison Keys at the Australian Open and her third major final loss overall after also falling to Coco Gauff at the 2023 US Open. The Roland Garros defeat, however, seemed to elicit her most visibly disappointed and contentious reaction. Connor's proposal for a short cooling-off period aims to prevent similarly charged and potentially regrettable comments in the future, allowing players a moment to gather themselves before facing the microphones and cameras in the crucible of defeat. It's a call for greater understanding of the human element in elite sport's most pressurized moments.